Hi, everyone. So Miss Graham wanted to just quickly discuss the science remote learning page in your packet, just because I did have a few questions on what you're supposed to be doing, okay? Um, so remember, you can take your time with this. It does need to be done by the time we go back to school, but because you are home, you have a little bit more of a flexibility on that schedule, okay? So I'm going to share my screen so you can see. And I've pulled up the science remote learning in your packet, okay? All right, so for the first time you're working from home, you will focus on science by logging daily information into a scientist's notebook. So this could just be a traditional notebook. It could be pages of paper that you've made out of construction paper, lined paper, graph paper, index cards, or a combination of materials to record your data. So just keep in mind you don't have to, order a book online, because I know that stores right now, you should be staying home. We don't want you to go out. You don't have to go out and buy anything. You just have to find paper that you have at home. So even if it's something like a paper that's printed on one side, so how this is on one side, like we do in class, we use the back blank side. You could do something like that as well, where you're just using those blank sides. So anything that you have at home would work for this, okay? You will use the world around you to make observations and record data using numbers, pictures, diagrams, and written descriptions of what you observe daily. If you have siblings in other grades or schools from K through 5, you may work on this project as a team, or you may select different projects. The choice is up to you and your family, okay? So here are the different topics to choose from to study. So remember that you are choosing one of these topics to record your data. So you want to choose something that you like from this list. So one of the options is the daily weather, including types of clouds, sun, rain, snow, fog, temperature, wind. So looking outside right now, I know that it is about to rain, or if it hasn't already. So you could keep a log and record data of what you notice each day, putting date, putting what kind of temperature it is. Is it cold outside? Is it nice outside? And that also gives you kind of an excuse to get outside. So if you're not already exercising outside and practicing social distancing, that's a great way for you to be outside for a little bit of the day and being able to kind of test the weather if you're not able to open a window and see it in your home. So the next one is the location of the moon and the stars in the night sky. So this is really awesome. Miss Graham actually did something similar when she was your age. You would look outside and you would notice that the moon is in different spots each night. So this could be something if you like to draw. You could draw pictures of what the moon looks like, what you notice each day. Is it a full moon? Is it a crescent? So those are all different things, okay? The next one is really awesome, and it's the appearance and behaviors of your family pets. So this is really cool because you get to basically like spy with your pet. So you get to watch what they're doing. Are they eating right now? Are they taking a nap? What do they do when they're eating? How do you know when they have to go outside to go to the bathroom? So those are all different things that you can watch and observe. So I really like that one. I think that one's cool if you have an animal at home. Another one is the appearance and behaviors of animals in your yard. So this one seems, I could be wrong, but this one seems a little bit different than the family pets. So I believe this one is like animals out in your yard, such as like squirrels, or if you have garden snakes, or ants. So anything that isn't a household pet. Okay. Next one is the appearance and changes to plants in your yard or your neighborhood. So this is really awesome as well. You know that we've planted in school with our milk cartons. We all planted for the geosphere, the biosphere, the atmosphere, and the hydrosphere to represent that. We made our own little plants. So this is cool to watch a plant grow within your yard or your neighborhood. I know that my parents have a little garden, so if I was, home over there, I would watch the garden grow and notice how, how it's looking each day. Is it going from a little stem to a blossom flower? So if you like something like that, then you might want to record data on that one. The next one is the measurements and steps taken in your family. So, family kitchen to prepare family dinner, including family feedback on the meal. So this is really awesome if, someone is cooking in your house and you enjoy to watch them cook, or you're interested in learning how to cook. You could absolutely use this time to not only record the measurements and the steps that they're doing, because it's your science work, but it's also a great way to kind of see how to learn to cook that meal. So if you're interested in cooking, this is definitely something you might want to do. The next one is the activities and exercises you do daily and food you eat to stay strong and healthy. So this one's really, really important because we should all be trying to go outside and exercise and do, daily outside, whether you're walking or you're just getting some fresh air. That's something you should be doing every day. But now they want you to take a look at the food you're eating to stay strong and healthy. So the vegetables you eat, maybe you go outside and you do some push-ups, maybe you jog around your neighborhood, maybe you walk around your neighborhood, jump rope. So anything like that that gets you up and moving and keeps you healthy, you are able to record for your science work. All right. So moving on to number 2, work with your family to plan what data you will collect. Keep in mind, you should try to have numeric data that you can graph. So numeric data just means numbers. So when you collect your data, you want to have numbers that you're able to graph. So if you remember when we were graphing in school, we needed numbers in order for us to make our graph so we can see the difference within each bar. And descriptive data that you can use to draw and write about. So, for example, what this means is if you are deciding to do the cooking option, where the measurements and the steps taken in the kitchen to prepare family dinner, instead of saying that, your guardian cooked spaghetti and leaving it at that, we want you to put, what kind of ingredients did they use? Did they use 1/2 cup of salt? Did they use, 2 cups of tomato sauce? How did they prepare this meal? They didn't just, snap their fingers, right? And the meal appeared. So we want you to really, really focus on being descriptive when you write. So if you saw them make spaghetti, how did they make it? What does it look like? Did it taste great? What did your family think it tastes like? How much of the sauce did they use? How much pasta did you get? How many meatballs did you get on your plate? So all of those are great ways to collect data that you're able to graph. Because as long as you have a number and it's something that's consistent, you're able to use that. So number 3, develop a data table to record your daily measurements. So keep in mind, if you remember, we made a table to then graph that we did for science for the bodies of water. So this is awesome because this is something you should be comfortable with doing. And if you're not, you can always reach out. But so you're creating a data table before you go and graph. So this is going to help you stay organized, okay? Number 4, set aside an area in your notebook to draw models of your observations or the plans for your work. So, you always want to plan out what you're going to do for your project. So make sure you set a few pages aside in your notebook that you've created or you have to have some space to draw a picture of what you've noticed and observed. And what you're planning to do with that data. Okay. Number 5 is make daily observations, record your daily measurements in your data table, and add daily data points to represent your measurements on your graph. So that's just continuing to be daily and consistent, and then being able to use that data to then make your graph. Number 6, describe what you notice in your science notebooks each day. Scientist notebooks each day. Be sure to add what you think, what you have observed about what you have observed and the data you have collected. Take some time each week to compare and contrast your daily findings to see what is happening over time. So an example of this is, Miss Graham might be watching her family plants grow in the garden. So I might compare, day 1 and day 2, the plant looked very similar, right? They kind of looked the same. But on day 1 compared to day 10, they looked different. So I might record that I noticed when I was observing those plants that on day 1, it looked completely different than day 10. And I might make it, I might make a prediction that the plant is getting bigger because it's getting sunlight and it's getting watered. So we want to make sure that you're really thinking about what you've observed and the data you collected. So that way we're not just collecting to collect, we're making some great observations as young scientists. And so they give you an example, have things changed or have they stayed the same? So going right back to that plant example that I have shown. Number 7, make sure to have fun with your project. Science is all about exploring and observing the work around you. So take this time at home to do just that and see where your science leads you. So yes, we want you to have fun with this, okay? So that's why we give you a bunch of different options, because we don't want it to feel like work. We know that you love science in class, so we want to take this time to, have fun with what you're doing. So take time with your drawings, take time with collecting your data, take time with your graphs. So all of that great stuff that we do each day in class when we work on some science stuff, okay? All right, so let me see. So I believe that is all for today. If you're interested in seeing how to create a table for collecting your data, please let me know so I can create a YouTube video for that, okay? All right, well, it was wonderful chatting with you all today. I've missed you so much. I can't wait to see you again. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.